Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the BB-Scho. As always, we're here for NBA Tuesday. Once again, joined. I'm with my co-host as always, Chen, and then we're once again joined with the grateful presence of Mr. Luke Dierlam back for NBA Tuesday. We're running it back, talking some basketball. Yeah, Luke, you can start it off. Go around the league. Hot topic: Celtics Warriors game. Zion being unsportsmanlike according to
Oh yeah.
campaign. So pick your poison. You want to kick us off with around the league talk?
Um, man, I think the Suns Pelicans, I think we should talk about that first because that was just crazy. I mean, the whole Zion like broke the unwritten rule in the league. I don't know. I feel like what people didn't see before that was Chris Paul, they already lost the game and he takes a layup. That layup isn't going to do anything. But when Zion does a 360 windmill, then people get mad. I mean, I don't know. I All I gotta say about that game is the Suns, I mean, we were talking about this a little before, but they're just not my favorites, man. They're soft. The Pelicans are such a deep team. The Suns, they didn't have Devin Booker. They didn't have, I believe, someone else. I forget, but regardless, I mean, Pelicans got the dub, and I think there's a Pelican Suns rivalry like brewing right now, and I think they play later this week. And yeah, that's all I
Do they
gotta say about
play?
that.
They play a third time because I know they played a second time already, and the Suns
Yeah,
lost.
yeah, it's
So they play a
weird. So
third time again.
they played like two times pretty close, and then let me see if I can
I
pull it
believe they're
up.
in the same
But
division, so it should be four.
yeah,
That's my knowledge. Um, I will have to. I'm just gonna take my hard stance on this. Um, my biggest thing is you brought up Chris Paul. It just honestly like his antics over the years. I feel like by the day I just get more and more dislike for Chris
Oh, they
Paul.
played tonight.
Um,
oh well,
again.
Oh no, sorry. That's the why did I looked up Suns
That,
Pelicans and it's the Jazz. How did that happen? Oh,
that
they
would have
play
been wild.
Saturday. They play Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, I knew it was
Oh.
soon, but
Interesting. But so yeah, they're definitely in the same division, which is going to create a rivalry, which I would say is cool. But I'm honestly pretty sold on the fact that I think the prime of the Suns team we're past that. Like this might honestly be the last season they have a winning record, in my opinion. I don't think one Chris Paul has really been all that. I know we kind of touched on it, last time Luke was on, but um, look, this is going to be a hot take, and in terms of talent, right? Devin Booker's great. I love Devin Booker. I love what he can provide scoring the basketball. Um, but I got to be honest here in terms of like what he provides your locker room. We get this idea of the Suns being soft. And, when I look at Devin Booker, he seems a little just disengaged. I really see a parallel to his buddy in Arizona, Kyler Murray. I would say
Oh
both these
my
dudes
gosh,
are
he is
wow.
not that bad.
elite. They are elite talents. And first of all, Kyler Murray's not playing bad. It's Cardinals, but that's a story for another day. They're both elite talents. It's just a matter of as people. I'm not one to critique character because everybody's different, but they're not leaders. They're not going to go and make other people better. Jay Crowder doesn't want to play. Like he's Devin Booker's not trying to get him off the bench. He's not trying to excuse me. People don't
Bless her.
play better around Devin Booker. That's facts. Until
I
Chris
agree.
Paul got there, they were at bottom of the barrel team. And now Chris Paul's starting to fall off. Don't be surprised the Suns, they probably will get above that play-in. But they're not going to be in the top. They're going to start to just drift, kind of like the Jazz and the Trailblazers and the Kings are going to start to come back down to earth while the real contenders start to emerge. And that's just my take. I love Devin Booker. I think he's an elite scorer. I think watching him at times is like, geez, this dude is really good. And we have plenty of names like Kyrie Irving, really good. But you don't rely on him to lead a team on his own, be your face of the franchise? Personally, no. And I know a lot of people might push back on that, but we'll see how the Suns do this year. They got washed by Luka and nobody else before they even got to the conference finals last year. So I don't really know why we're still on this high horse of the Suns. The fall has already started. That's just my 2 cents on the issue. And if they're going to be upset with Zion doing that 360 windmill, stop them. How about that? How about DeAndre Ayton's 7-foot David Robinson build stops a dude who's 6'7" with some hops? I mean, I'm sorry, but you can be upset and whatever. When Chris Paul does the same thing, it's like, come on. Don't be hypocrites, especially Chris Paul, who's been around the game since I can remember.
I'd love to pose a debate to this, but yeah, this was, and I feel like we're all in the majority here. They got a lot of flack for this, but yeah, it was pretty soft campaign to just whine to the media about sportsmanship and all this, and it took a matter of 30 minutes for me to scroll on TikTok and see like 5 different clips from the playoff last year of the Suns doing the exact same.
Right. It's like, dude,
like, it's
you can't do that.
Yeah,
you just can't do that.
I feel like if anything in today's NBA, we need more of that type of stuff going on.
Absolutely
you know what I mean?
Agree. And that's what I was going to say is this is the most interested I've been in a rivalry in a minute outside of maybe a couple finals match, maybe since Cavs Warriors. And that got boring at the end.
Regular season, it's like regular season's usually boring. It's nice to have a little bit of bad blood. I'll take it. Pelicans are out for blood. Everyone was crapping on them, saying they're not going to be all that, and they're top seed in the West right now.
No, and Christian, I'd love to disagree with your stance on Book, but the reality is I can't. when it comes to like that,
jeez,
no, just like somebody who's modeled their game after Kobe and does all this idolization, but when it comes to like the essence of what made Kobe so great, falls so far short.
So far.
Killer instinct that you see, and I'm not even just praising Kobe, MJ. Like LeBron's got it too, and people have it to more extent than others. But Book is. You don't show up in game 7 and score like 25 points as a team and a half or whatever it was. I think it was a little more than 25, but
it was 39.
Oh my!
It was like 72 to 39. I remember that. That was like time stamped in my head. I couldn't believe it.
But yeah, I don't disagree. I will push back on the idea that the Suns aren't going to have a win. This will be the last time they have a winning record. I think they're not.
With Booker this core.
Well. Okay,
that's what
if
I was
that's
saying.
what you meant, then okay. Who's the?
I'm not saying all time they're not going to win. It's just like
no, I know what you mean.
The end of the
I'm
window.
saying what I'm going to say is they're going to hold on to Book, and it should be fairly easy to reload to get a team that can win 50 games with him because he's a very good regular season player. Is kind of what I'm getting at. It won't. I don't think it will be hard. I think they have a decent enough core to find, make a couple moves and build some depth. So, but outside of that,
I don't think they're going to be, after this year, I don't think they're going to go for a deep playoff run again until they make some major changes. And like, I would almost compare Devin Booker to someone like Kyrie to where they're really good. They can score the ball and they've got this good skill set. But I mean, I don't know if this is a hot take either, but I'd almost like to say D-Book is better as a second option. And he's never really been a second option, but say you bring in someone like, I don't know, you give him a Joel Embiid type of player, someone like that, or even like he could be a first option. Yeah. Jokic, or he could even be a first option with like, I was going to say someone like Halliburton, but I mean, he has Chris Paul. That isn't, working out very well. But my question is, you compared D-Book to Kyler. I mean, I wonder if D-Book likes Call of Duty too. I mean, I guess that's just the theme in Arizona, but yeah, I don't know.
A lot of COD down there.
Yeah, I saw the stat that like every time a new COD comes out, Kyler's stats like drop off. I don't know. That's off topic.
Well, I mean, shipment's supposed to come out tomorrow, and he magically tore his ACL yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
NFL's rigged. NFL's rigged. Anyway.
No. I gotta just say with the, I'd have to. I haven't seen it, the second option thing, but in theory, that sounds pretty remarkable. I'm not gonna lie. You swap.
I don't know Middleton, if I can say that, but
swap out Middleton for Book. That Bucks team probably goes 73-9. You swap out even Kyrie for Book with KD. That team, like he would be an elite second option. And I think as the number one guy, given the number one guys that are around the NBA, I think there's an argument he might fall outside of that top 10. And like it's close, but as we really start Luca, LeBron / AD, you really start to break it down. It's like, wow, he's really good, but he's not the elite. And that's just no. I think it's a very good talking point. Ultimately, Pelicans are better constructed, and I think we should kind of move towards that. I mean, when I look at on paper, the idea of your starting lineup consisting of Brandon Ingram, or let me just start from the 1 to 5, right? So CJ McCollum is your starting point guard, which I know he's a shooting guard for most of his career, but he's solid. And he's definitely been actually very good this year as the point guard for the Pelicans. Then you throw in Herb Jones, who, if it's him or BI, switch 2 or 3, I could care less. They're both like 6'7". I think BI is actually like 6'9", 6'10", and they got freakish wingspans. So already your defense is covered. I mean, CJ McCollum, he's not the biggest dude, but he's on like 6'3", 6'4" at the one spot. That's pretty solid. And you got your plethora of wings with Zion at the 4 and Val at the 5. To me, that starting lineup screams no weaknesses. And the way Jose Grand Theft Alvarado has been playing off the bench, I think the Pelicans are realistically, they get another bench piece. And I don't really see how they're that far from contending. So in terms of, I'd love to see them match up against the Warriors with their size. Yeah. I think that actually might give them fits in a 7-game series. I know that's a bit of a stretch to just compare them to the world champions, but it's got to be acknowledged. I mean, if Zion's going to average 30 and 10 the rest of the way, he's not going to be stopped by Kevon Looney nor Draymond Green. I'm not going to, no.
Yeah, sorry. I think you hit the nail on the head, and why I'm starting to believe that this team has really contender potential, and simply because of their defensive ability. They're ranked top 5 in the league right now, I believe, and they just match up well against anybody. And on top of that, you go look at on the offensive end. If Zion is going to take that step, finally be healthy, and take that step that we thought he was going to take 2 years ago, but he really hasn't had the chance to become a superstar. Well, that's a problem for any opposing defense. We all know Brandon Ingram was most improved player either last year or the year before. That's a problem. And CJ McCollum is just as good as an offensive option, and now he's playing role facilitator and looking to pass first. I mean, that's scary because he can look to score first at any time he wants to. So I have to agree. The only hesitation is the youth. And when it comes to big games, that does matter when it comes to the playoffs. Not a lot of experience. CJ McCollum's probably got the most, but that doesn't hold people. Yeah, youth and health, but those are intangible things, so tangibly on the court, I have no reason to believe that they can't hang with some of the best teams in the West right now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think the Pelicans' key point, as everyone knows, is can Zion stay healthy? And clearly when he is healthy, I mean, I think BI is out right now, but yeah, Zion is like, you could call him a top 10 player in the league when he's healthy. I mean, it's like Shaq who can move and shoot out there. Like I was watching these games, like the Suns Pelicans game. Willie Green will just let him come to the top of the key and ISO against a guard on the Campaign. Like, what is Campaign going to do against Zion? Nothing. Literally, jab step, one dribble, he's already going to dunk the ball. Like it's that simple. So if Zion can stay healthy, I mean, I would go as far as to say that within the next 2 years, they will make a deep playoff run. This year, I think they'll be in the playoffs. I don't think that anything will come of it because like Caleb was saying, they're kind of young. They don't have that much experience. They don't even have that much experience as being a healthy team altogether, playing throughout a whole season. But, assuming Zion and all them stay healthy, hell's for the win, man. They're going to be real contenders within the next 2 years. And I'd bet money on that.
I have to agree with that. They're the best young core in the league right now. It may be Cleveland, maybe. But those two are my 2 favorites. I don't know. up
we
and
talk
comers.
Zion. Like when we're talking about him, right? We love you nitpick holes in people's games. Steph's like his size, Giannis is shooting. What's the hang up with Zion here? But let's exclude health from the picture.
I would go to the shooting.
Yeah, that's really the hill you want to die on. Bro is 21 and his debut.
I'm not going to die on it, but if you're looking for what I believe to be the weakest part of his game, that would be it.
I just think if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure he's shooting like close to 60% from the field.
Well, okay.
I'm talking about his 3-point shooting.
Yeah, I would probably say 3-point shooting and
his jump shooting.
It's not. It's really not. Yeah, his jump shooting is not as bad as people think it is, but at the same time, he's a young guy. He can always improve. And also, he's a left-handed player, and you can kind of see him in games. He sometimes struggles to finish with his right, or like he'll be driving to the right but finish with his left. Like that's something that all young guys can improve on. But other than that, like, geez, he's he is one of the hardest players to guard. Like, I don't know how much he weighs, but he's just like a wrecking ball coming at you. Like him and Giannis are right there. I mean, I think Giannis is a little harder to stop just because, I mean, it's Giannis. Like, no one's gonna be. I don't think there'll ever be another Giannis, but Zion, he can take the number 2.
I had to double down because I want to make sure I was right about this, and I am. He's averaging 25 per season. He's shooting 61% from the field and 36 from 3, which is above league average, and he's in year 3 technically. That's why when it's like, oh, there's concerns with the shooting, I personally have none. He's literally still getting integrated and coming back.
He is. Let's add this. Let's add a stipulant here. He is averaging a 3/4 of 1 3-point attempt a game this season. So
yeah, but when he's,
I'm not saying the percentage in there, but if he's not an effective 3-point shooter.
But when he needs to take them, they're going in. And what I'm saying is, when you're at over 60%, like Giannis isn't even shooting 60%.
Oh, I'm not downplaying that
like
at all.
That's
incredible.
To be at 25 points a game and you're above 60%, like if you go 48% for the field and go over 20, people are like, dude, he's having a great year. Look at like Tyler Hero or somebody. He's great. Like Zion, when we're talking like top 10 players, you can say it's early. I don't care. Like just on the court, this dude is only going to get better. Literally the only problem with this game that people are, he's not going to stay healthy. Oh, he's too big. He's going to fall out of the league. Until we see that, he is a top 10 player in my book. And I know we're saying he's going to get kind of like bounced around the playoffs, whatever. I'm fully convinced that this team's healthy, they're going to be in the way of the Western Conference Finals, probably with the Warriors. I think the Warriors probably bounce them because of that playoff experience for decades. But I'd
like to see him play Denver too. I think Denver poses match.
I think it's interesting. Well. But you think a double with Val and Zion would not give Jokic fits?
But I'm not disagreeing with that. I think
it's going to be a good series.
Jokic is good, but he does not play defense. I don't care what anyone says. Jokic is not locking up Zion. I mean, yeah, he'll play good against Valanciunas because he's just a role player. But I don't.
Right. No one on the Nuggets. Zion.
Yeah, no one's guarding Zion on the Nuggets. I mean, I think that would be a good matchup though, because I mean, like people have to guard Zion, you also got to go guard Jokic, and he can go for 50 on any night.
Anybody's head, yeah.
Yeah, but like Christian was saying, I mean, Zion's shooting this crazy percent. Like he's dropping at least 25 points a game, and he's only taking like 15 shots. He's barely missing any shots. Like he's
not even in playoff mode. Like he's really not taking that 25, 30 shots. And that's where I'm like, we're going to see maybe a historic run here. I'm just going to call it out. Like, I don't see how you stop a guy like that who's getting that many points in the regular season and shooting at that high of a clip. It's just hasn't been done probably since like a guy like Kareem or like dudes that we just think of as literally they don't attempt threes at all. And so that's why when I'm looking at his game, man, it's impressive, but I think even more impressive than people want to acknowledge. One, because it's Zion and he had all this hype coming in, and we haven't technically seen it yet, It's been kind of 2 years of like a hiatus for him between injuries and whatnot. I think we're finally seeing it, and he needs his flowers, man. And I mean flowers, I mean a whole garden. Like, this dude was supposed to be an ex-LeBron, and so far he's on pace. No, in terms of numbers, he's like quite literally on pace.
Save my spot on the Zion train. That's all I gotta say.
No, yeah, I'm fully on it, man.
I'm riding it out till he's done.
Yeah, this guy, he's legit. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's got more things to add on the old Pelicans. This team's good, man. There's a reason they're on the 1 seed. They might hold down the rest of the year. They might be the Grizzlies of last year. That's their best case scenario, I think.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to say it. I can get behind that. Look, I'm not like I feel like you're thinking you're getting more pushback on this Zion Pelicans hype than you really are. Like, I'm right there.
Oh, I'm not getting pushback. I am just trying to state my case. So when things roll around, and I'm trying to mark my territory, man. Zion Williamson, Pelicans, they're gonna be good, and they're gonna be more than good. And people probably, I know you guys are basketball watchers. Remember, I feel like the casual person. Oh, he's not that. No, he's that good.
He is
like,
that good.
You just have to watch. But anyways, we can get some more pushback on the little better or worse. I mean, let's keep it a buck. There's 3 of us. We're all not gonna have the same opinions on players. Plain and simple.
That's fair.
I'll just dive right into it because we talked about this guy for the past how many minutes? Better or worse for Zion Williamson? I think we're going to try a different format, a little rotational format. Each guy kind of proposes a guy, and we'll just kind of, back and forth, yada, yada, yada. So better or worse all time, who do you think you'd rather slot in, Zion or Draymond Green?
I knew that was coming.
I knew that was coming.
Getting right into it,
man. Are we
man.
talking all time? Like
talking
where do they no, like, what's the question? Because you said who would you rather slot in, which is different. Like, so if we're ranking all-time players, right?
We're talking when I'm okay. This is, again, we view all time. Now people have a different view on this. The way I look at it is like you swap the 2 guys in roles in terms of like they're at their peak. This guy's at their peak. Certain situations, you just kind of feel it out. Like, okay, like in my opinion, I'm just gonna go right off the dome. Like, is Draymond's peak ever gonna hit even what Zion's doing now? No. And I think Zion on the team where the Warriors lost at 73-9, they might quite literally not lose a game and would not have lost that final series. Like, people are like, oh, it's Draymond's key core.
But
I'm pretty sure
reason
Steve Kerr should show Zion how
the only reason they lost is because Draymond's
missed game 5 or 6. Yeah, okay. Maybe it was the Warriors scoring 89 in game 7, and I think Zion's 25 a night would help that.
They lost by 4 in game 7. What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that, the Cavs won by 4, and Draymond, I know, didn't put up 25. I guarantee you Zion in that situation wins the Warriors that series. I guarantee the Warriors don't lose in between. And people are pushed back on that. If you want to tell me Draymond Green is a better player at any point in his career than Zion is currently, feel free to engage.
Well, no, Draymond Green is far more accomplished than Zion is at this point. So if we're ranking all-time players,
what do you mean by accomplishment? Because
4 championships, multiple defensive, maybe not multiple, but definitely one.
Yeah, say he's got like 1, and then I'm pretty sure Patrick McCaw's like
couple
4 championships. I'm just saying, Steve Kerr's got 5 rings, probably 7 or 8 as a coach.
Dude, what are you like? This is why what are you arguing? Like,
I'm arguing Zion is a basketball player.
You're right, man. You're right. Robert Horry's better than Michael Jordan. You're right, man. You got me.
You're giving me that argument. You're giving me that argument of the rings
and I'm flipping
matter,
back
and I'm
what
telling
you just. Yes, because do they not matter at all? Is that the point? Like, do they not matter at all?
It doesn't matter as much as when I look at Zion as a player in Draymond and what they give to my basketball team. I would rather have Zion right now in his prime than any of Draymond's best years.
Are we playing one game tomorrow?
we are talking players all time at their peak, at their prime. Like
if I'm going on a list, I'm saying this right now. I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to do it. If I'm going down a list and ranking the best power forwards of all time, okay, I'm probably Tim Duncan number 1, Dirk in there somewhere. We're going to work our way down the list. I will today rank Draymond Green higher than Zion Williamson. However, that could be very wrong in a matter of a year, 3 years. I mean, Zion has way more potential and a higher ceiling than Draymond ever has. But today, Draymond is a better power forward all time than Zion Williamson.
I think the stipulation that we kind of have to add is Zion's such a young guy. So when you say compare these two players and you look at what they've accomplished versus just their pure skill and what they bring to a team, like to the table, which is what I would judge it, like, because Zion's a young guy. If you compare him to Draymond, like, I would say all time Draymond's also better. But as for a pure skill set, I'm a GM. Who do I want on my team? I think I can find a couple rebounders. Like, give me Zion. I don't, Draymond's got all the accolades in the world. Boom, defensive player of the year, couple of championships. But Zion is a prodigy.
That's just what bothers me, bro. That's what just bothers me. It's like the only reason we're like Draymond is better is because he get his rings with the Warriors.
Why does that bother you? That's just reality.
It bothers me so much, dude.
It is reality.
It doesn't make him good. Go check his stats. It doesn't make him good. It's literally he's literally the third option in terms of overall player, not even
offense is not the only part of the game, man. It's not the only part of the game.
And defense isn't either. Like, I can't believe we're dying on this idea.
Oh my God.
How do you look at Draymond Green at any point in his career and be like, yo, that dude who was, chunky playing tight end at Michigan State is better than Zion at any point in his career?
No, I'm not. That is not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying
I know that's what you're saying, but you guys are both you're dying in the argument that Draymond is technically a better player all time because of the team he was on and one good defensive year. When we've seen Gobert in his many defensive player of the years literally get exposed in the playoffs and show that it's not even conducive to win basketball.
But Draymond didn't get exposed in the playoffs. That's part of our argument.
I mean, his style
on a dynasty.
I would say losing when you're 73-19.
They lost because he didn't play.
They lost game 5 or 6. They didn't lose 7. He was there for game 7, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And I'm keeping it a buck in game 7. Zion.
All right, listen. I think that Draymond Green, you could compare him to some like Scottie Pippen, for example. If Scottie didn't have Michael Jordan, Scottie would not. Where's his accolades? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got a defense.
But he got an MVP. He almost was in the running for an MVP that year that Jordan didn't play. Draymond literally looked like he could be out of the league when Steph wasn't on the court. And that is facts. People can go and watch that. He was so bad.
I remember watching him.
Like, I'm tired of his dribble handoff and his couple assists being amazing playmaker, this defensive wall. When if Steve Kerr had Zion in that role and told him to do those things, Zion would literally be Draymond on crack. But we're not going to acknowledge it because of Draymond was there for the champs.
We did acknowledge it.
Let me change my views, my stance here. Okay, I'll make Christian a little more happy. Okay, based on strictly accolades and achievements in a career, give me Draymond over Zion. As for all time, skill, nothing else. Give me Zion. Draymond is nowhere near close to Zion.
That's what you said last time. You said as a GM, I'd rather have Zion. And I wouldn't I'm not arguing.
Yeah, so why as a GM are you like, right now, I'd like Draymond?
I'm not saying that as a GM. I'm saying that as a basketball historian, that Draymond is objectively more accomplished and ranks higher because we just haven't seen Zion.
Okay.
No, I think that's just how...
All I'm hearing is Draymond needs, like, essentially, if we just had Zion drafted at the same year as Draymond and he had the same career path, like, you'd feel actually probably way better about Zion. But it's just because I drafted 2 years ago.
I said Zion has a way higher ceiling than Draymond ever had.
That's fine, man.
We-
I don't see the talent.
We've
dude.
been
I'm
arguing. We've
sorry.
been arguing over
I-
Draymond Green. We gotta
Dude,
switch it up.
I'm
It is
gonna
what it
hate
is.
on Draymond.
would
He
it
is
be
the
a
most
bad
overrated
thing?
player in the NBA. Like on top of like Chris Paul and Gobert. Like there's some names, man, and
Bro just
he's
hates
one of them that
defense.
just gets
Let's
he
can
gets
we just get to the
unlike
core here? You just
defense
don't
with
understand
no
the value of
offense,
defense.
dude. Yeah, you tell me the value of defense. You tell me
The value
like,
of defense. The
Yes.
top two best defensive teams last year were in the finals. There's the value of
okay.
defense.
In
It's
terms
big.
of like overall what they do, but in terms of defensive player of the year, Gobert was 2 or 3 consecutive defense player of the year, and that did nothing for his team. They got bounced every single year. So you're telling me he's a makeup as a team? Yeah, it matters. But
I would
player
argue
by
that
player, we can't go player by
concede
player.
that
You can have a team of
is a
all
team
defense.
stat rather than is much better as a team stat than it is an individual stat. I would say that.
Exactly. So when we're comparing
However, when you are
individual
the
players,
best
I take that in
defender-
account.
Say that again.
When I take individual players, I'm taking that into account. I understand defensively as a team, it's a lot like that is a lot more conducive to winning when your team is good defensively. Let's look at the Pelicans. But we're looking one-on-one player. Like you see what a really good defender, like it doesn't matter if there's nobody around him. Like I'm saying those players need other people to succeed to win.
There are less guys in the league who can show up and make a guy. How do I want to say this? Less guys in the league that can show up and make the other team's star player significantly a worse player that night than there are guys who can show up and give you 25 points.
That's valid.
You said there's less
But
defenders that can do that.
I would argue that Draymond is not okay. As of today, I don't know.
Draymond cannot show
guy.
up and give you 25. If that's
no. Of course, he won't even give me 10. I mean, come on, he'll
Yeah.
give me a couple
like,
of rebounds and some assists and a lot of turnovers, but he ain't scoring. But no, like Draymond, as of today, he's still flailing around on the court, but he's not going to go shut down Jason Tatum in the finals. I'm sorry. Like, he'll play good defense, but Tatum's still going to get his, and Draymond's going to start talking and do his thing. And he's just like a Dennis Rodman type of player at the end of the day. I mean, no offense. He does everything else, decent. I mean, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, Zion over Draymond, that period, point blank period. Give it 2 more years. Give it 2 more years. I don't care about accolades. Boom.
Totally flipped sides. All right, we're moving on to the next guy. We spent enough time. All right. So I was going to say Dennis Rodman, but I won't for the sake of having the exact same discussion.
That's a flip of the coin. They're the same player.
No,
exactly.
I mean, yes, and
exactly.
Draymond brings more to the table, like all around. But
I forgot. Draymond can hand the ball off. I forgot the like dribble handoffs. I forgot. My bad.
Rodman.
That's really
Whatever. We're moving on. I got Luke. Go ahead. Who do you got? Because I got to think of another powerful.
I was trying to think of players in the league to compare him to, but I don't really. I mean, Zion's kind of a, he's like a unicorn. I don't know. All time, I don't know. Someone who comes to mind who I like to compare him to who doesn't shoot as well is someone I guess I'll just say it, better or worse than Zion Williamson, better or worse, Sean Kemp.
Oh,
very similar builds, and
Sean Kemp would be the nightmare version of Zion's career, quite literally.
Yeah.
That's
a couple good seasons and nothing happens after. So like from that kind of take alone, I'll have Zion for now in terms of the fact, like I like Sean Kemp was 6'10". I like that in terms of skill set. He brought it when he was, in his prime and playing. I mean, this dude was in the finals with the Glove, who is overrated in his own right. But in terms of just
anytime a player is a good defender, he's overrated, man.
I mean, he didn't stop Jordan from doing a whole lot, Mr. The Glove. I'm sorry. Just Sean Kemp, like, he's great. He's like at his pinnacle. You just cherry-picked the best player of all time. Yeah, I am, because it's
he couldn't stop him as if anybody else could ever.
Hey, listen, man, I am going to die on the hill that if it comes down to a one-on-one game, like a lot of these finals, it's like back and forth. It is the better offensive player wins. The Warriors. Steph Curry was the best offensive player in that. He's going to win. Bucks. The best offensive player was Giannis. He's like, you just keep going down the line. The dudes that drops 40, 50 in the games, they win the contest.
Yeah, but
I digress.
Bucks,
I'm gonna take Zion over Sean Kemp. Like
I'm taking Zion. I'm taking Zion as well. And honestly, Kemp, one of the better dunkers, athletic players of all time. Super fun to watch. I didn't get a chance, obviously, to watch him, but I get the benefit of YouTube highlight reels. So, looking at his numbers, I mean, he averaged 20 points once in his career.
Yeah. No jumper either.
Zion just feels like a modern. A more modern version. If you throw Zion back in the 90s, and obviously he's going to score.
People
that
would be terrifying.
But like what I'm saying is, you throw him back in a slower pace, he probably wouldn't get 25. He'd probably be around 20, 22 maybe. You throw Kemp today, it's probably high teens, low 20s as well, with faster pace, more scoring. So I'm still taking Zion. Like he's just a more accomplished, more polished version. If that makes sense. Even at 22 or whatever, however old he is.
Yeah.
But all right, I got one. There. I got one for you guys. So I gotta find him. Gotta find his numbers. All right. Better or worse all time. Where'd he go? Sorry. Oh, there he is. All right. Better or worse all Zion Williamson, better or worse all time than peak Chris Bosh.
Oh wow.
Oh,
that's actually a good one.
I'm not going to Luke, unless you want to go first. I'm gonna wrap this up personally. Chris Bosh in today's NBA would be dominant. He started to develop that three. I think if he's drafted in 2013 instead of 2003, like Bosh would have been OP. I know that might be a little bit. I know some people think he's overrated, but dude, like he was a very good as a big man, like just from that aspect. And at the time, he was a little ahead with being able to stretch the floor a bit. And I think in today's NBA, he'd be like that perfect blend of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't want to take him over Zion.
I honestly think when it comes to Bosh's career, this sounds kind of crazy, but going to Miami really hurt him. Like when it comes to these kind of discussions. So? When you look at his numbers, okay, the year before he went to Miami, he was averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Immediately dropped to 18 points and 8 rebounds and just under 2 assists in his first year in Miami. So it's just literally less touches. I feel like really his ability to shine on a stat sheet, if that makes sense.
I don't know if you could completely say it hurt him though, because you got LeBron and D Wade. Obviously they're going to be touching the ball like the majority of the game, but he's still doing his part. I think you just said he was averaging 18, from 24, and like obviously you go to a new team with superstars, you're not going to be doing that. But at the same time, if he stayed on, I think, was he only on the Raptors before?
Yeah.
Before the Heat?
Yeah.
I mean, if you stay there, he's not going to win a championship. He's not going to do anything there except get stats. So the fact that I wouldn't say he was like the 3-headed, snake or whatever that they used to say. Like, yeah, he was good, but I don't know. I wouldn't consider him a superstar like D Wade and LeBron. I think you guys would all agree with that, but he was above average for his time in the league for sure.
No, and I think the Heat, thing, like in terms of the average guy who's just going to go and check Bosh's stats, I would agree that moving to the Heat hurt him. But in terms of like when we're talking about Bosh as a player, and we saw, I mean, growing up, him on those Heat teams, like his development as a jump shooter, what he even did, it wasn't for long because he had the whole blood clot thing, but like he had like a year or two there where it was just him and washed up Wade, and he was still like good, and his shooting was still improving. And in my opinion, I guess he just had to retire early, but it was still
what
early.
year?
Like,
what year did Bron first leave? Was Bron there in 14 and 15? The 2014-15 season. Still in Miami. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have been because
it was 13-14 was this last year. I believe 14-15 was the first year with the Cavs. I believe 14-15, 15-16 was when it was like Wade and Bosh, and I believe Bosh was like
So
after 16 or 17.
Bosch's
like,
numbers, LeBron's last year was 16 points, 5 rebounds, or 7 rebounds and an assist. The very next year, he jumped all the way up to 21 points, shot 37% from 3, 48%
Yeah.
from field,
See,
7 rebounds to assists. He did take that jump, and then, obviously injuries really knocked him off with the blood clots and whatnot.
But I guess the point being is we all, as we're looking at this, know the player that Bosch is, right? Like as basketball just consumers and breaking down players and whatnot, we recognize the greatness of Chris Bosch. I understand during the Heat days with the big three, he was at his low in terms of total numbers. But like as a player, you can just watch and be like, yeah, this dude, like he changes how your team can attack. And he's a very good defender as well. And so I'm looking at that, his all-around game. Yeah, he doesn't have the finishing ability, I think, Zion, but like Zion's a freak when it comes to that. So like we can't really give him that edge. It's just a matter of is Zion going to catch Bosch in legacy? And a couple of years, it's not out of the picture, but he's got the skill set.
Yeah, I have to agree. This follows a very similar discussion that the Draymond conversation did when it comes to like. I would argue that Draymond was way more instrumental to the championships.
I'd rather have Bosch than I would rather have Bosch. I think Bosch with Klay and Curry is insane. You got to be kidding me.
Bosch on the Warriors now, like in
that would go crazy.
NBA? Oh my gosh,
that would go crazy in 26. No, like that's what I'm starting to like. I think we just love to put some of these guys on a pedestal, and it's like, don't overthink it. Like Chris Bosch is a better player than Draymond Green.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said that Green was more instrumental to the Warriors championships than Bosch was to Miami's.
If that's how you want to feel, yeah.
I would agree with that. I would agree.
I can't agree. I can't.
I'm just looking at the numbers. As soon as he went to Miami, he didn't do anything.
Bosch was part of the reason that saved LeBron. Ray Allen was the other half. Rebound Bosch.
I'll get behind that.
Like Draymond Green, do we really think he's shutting down Tim Duncan? I'm not saying Bosch shut him down, but I think Duncan would go for like 40 just from the size alone. We love Draymond is fit the Warriors system because we haven't seen anybody else in the role. The best thing was Bogut and Looney. Like I'm really consider that, and even just a 2K sim.
Let me clarify.
Steph,
I'm still
Curry,
taking
Klay,
Bosch
and
Bosch over Draymond. Let me clarify.
But then why is it more instrumental to their team than Bosch?
Because they both happened. I think the Heat win without Bosch. I don't know if the Warriors win without Draymond.
Wow.
Except take the KD teams out of the conversation. The other two.
I just think even like last year, like just watching that team, it was more of a Steph and the rest of the guys than
So then, okay, all right. Then I'm going to hold you to
Draymond.
this. Whenever week comes around, when we come up to the Steph Curry all-time conversation, you better have him freaking sky high, dude. Because
he is. He is. He's top 2 point guard between him and Magic.
All right.
I am not going to back down from that. No, I know what he provides offensively. That's why they won a championship last year.
All right. So, all right, we'll move on. Do we have one more Zion compare? Oh, no, we did Sean Kemp. Do we want to do Klay?
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
we'll do one each. We'll do one each for Klay. Klay Thompson, better or worse all time, and then we can talk a little who he played for. But all right, I'll go first because I have a couple. I have some good names here, so I want to decide who I want to go with. Actually, you know what? That means I probably shouldn't go first. So, because I have I prepped Klay Thompson for like the previous way we did better or worse, where I could like rattle off a couple names and go really fast. But
yeah, it's more of a debate. I got a name that
and
I want Luke to entertain it right away.
I haven't written
better or worse, man. Klay Thompson is he really better or worse than Ray Allen?
Oh.
I thought you were going to say Harden.
I was about to hop back on the Harden train, buddy.
I do think Harden is a better player. I do.
Yeah.
But Ray Allen is.
I would even concede that.
Jeez. I mean, I feel like if we're just looking at Klay this year, he's kind of having a streaky year. I mean, he's gone through, he's had these high scoring games and then he'll just kind of disappear for a stretch. And I don't know,
Yeah.
all time, that is really tough. Oh my
That's
gosh,
really tough.
because you could argue, oh, Clay was at one point in his prime was a very good 3-and-D, like very good on ball defender, but so was Ray Allen. I mean, I feel like when people think of Ray Allen, they think of him hitting the shot for the Heat in his old, his dinosaur days. But he was in Milwaukee, the Celtics. I think I'm going to take Ray Allen, to be honest.
No, yeah,
Take Ray Allen.
I could get behind that in the sense that Ray Allen was the number one option. He was quite literally there in a game 7 with AI. Granted, the Sixers lost that finals to the Lakers against Kobe and Shaq, but if Ray Allen's able to bring the Milwaukee Bucks there, I think a lot of people look at him differently. And it's really hard to play the game of, I love to do the hypothetical. Like when you switch roles, it's like, okay, what does Ray Allen bring in terms of the Warriors that's different than Klay? I don't really see a whole lot of difference. It's just I haven't seen Klay as number one option. And that's where it's kind of difficult to, is this guy really good? I know he's a great shooter, great defender, like all time. I mean, he's up there on his own team being the number one guy. We haven't seen it. I don't think we're going to. So when it's
I'd agree.
time to make the argument,
it's a tough one, man.
It's tough.
If I'm being honest, I think that Ray Allen would struggle more in a modern day Warriors offense because of the pacing. But that's just because by that time he would be kind of older. But also on that Bucks team, like I'm gonna be honest, I could not name one other player on that team that he brought to that far in the playoffs. Like I no idea. I don't even know what year that was.
The big 3 of 2000 was Ray Allen, Glenn Big Dog Robinson, and Sam Cassell.
Gosh.
And I'm pretty sure
Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell.
He had to be 40.
Yeah. It was interesting that Ray Allen even pulled.
I mean, to be fair though, could anybody name anybody else on that Sixers team?
Right. I think that's what really came down to was who's gonna outscore who, and AI just did. I mean, he got MVP that year, so it made sense. But yeah, I'm pretty sure AI's next best dude was like Aaron McKee, or maybe Kembe was like
Eric.
It was
Eric Snow.
Yeah, Eric Snow. Like it was atrocious. But yeah, I'll side with Ray Allen. I could see both sides of this though. It's such a big hypothetical with Klay being number one. So I'm curious to see, Caleb, what's your stance?
Yeah,
I
think I'm
going
to
fan.
I might have to play a little contrarian here just because nobody else. Luke, you took Ray Allen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm with you, Kristen. I see both sides, but I'll make the case for Klay simply because I think he's at his peak, slightly better defender than Ray was, but Ray was a very solid defender, so it's not that not that big of an advantage in my mind. But I think that Klay had a higher ceiling when it came to explosiveness. I don't recall, I could be wrong, but I don't recall Ray Allen ever doing something like 60 points or whatever. Was it 60 and a quarter? It wasn't that much. It was 60 in a game and like I think 29.
It's definitely he's the more efficient shooter. I will give Klay that.
And Ray Allen's calling card is 3-point shooting, and I think that's unfair to him, like you guys said. I mean, you look at his stats when he was with Seattle, he was averaging over 25 points for back-to-back seasons. So in 05, 06, before he got to Boston.
Not taking the threes, the clip we see today. I think that's a very good thing, too.
Yes, I would agree. So, and I think that, it's very interesting because when you have that conversation with Steph, the conversation is, Steph shoots off the dribble way better than Ray Allen ever did. I don't know if Klay does because he's always been that spot up guy. So it's really close. I'll take Klay just because Klay could show up and give me 60 points and he might be a little bit of a better defender, but I don't think the Warriors are that much different a team. And vice versa. If Klay is the number one option in Milwaukee, or Seattle, or the number 3 in Boston, I don't think those teams are much different, if that makes sense. They're very identical.
Yeah, no, I'd have to concur in that sense of it's a hypothetical because we haven't seen it with Klay. But if we're just kind of guessing from what we've seen, I think he'd be just all right. That's like,
I mean,
he'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like, he would still do his thing. He might average more points.
Got there, he averaged 21, 22 points a game as the number 2. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's safe to say with a couple more shots, probably 2 or 3
27,
more points.
28, less
Okay,
efficient.
yeah, give him that. A little less efficient. I mean, that's right where about Ray Allen was, especially when you adjust it for pacing. So,
right.
you know.
Yeah. It's an entertaining debate for sure.
That was a good one, though.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Appreciate it.
All right, so next? All right, I'll take the bait here. We'll go with another guy here. So this is interesting because when it comes to Klay, there's a couple names that come to mind that you guys might just take one side. So I'm trying to find a guy somewhat close, but I'll take the bait here, and I'm very interested to see where you guys go with this. Better or worse than Klay Thompson all time, Clyde Drexler.
Clyde the Glide.
Clyde the Glide. Going old school a little bit with this one.
Luke, you want to go first?
If I'm being honest, man, I mean, Clyde's one of the all-time greats. I can put some air quotes on that, I guess, but I really haven't. I couldn't tell you his stats. I mean, obviously I've used him in 2K. I've seen him in YouTube highlights over the years. Like, I'm not too like knowledgeable about Clyde, but I know that Clyde definitely struggled from 3. I can tell you that much. So they're definitely 2 different types of players. But he also was that guy on that Trailblazers team who was their main scoring option. He would guard the best player. Man, and then when you look at Klay, he kind of, was drafted into a system where he's always been that number 2. And, these are just 2 different types of players.
I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to take Clyde based off of this. The numbers relatively similar. We have that conversation. If Klay was the number 1, like we just had that, right? The reason I'm going to take Clyde as number 1 is because he was this franchise superstar. And at a time, whether incorrect or not, he was literally in the discussion with Mike as the best player in the league.
That's
and
what
Klay has never been in that discussion. So while I think we can all agree that was wrong to even put them in the same stratosphere, the fact that it was a discussion at all, to me, I know I wasn't alive, but like to me, it's like, man, looking at the numbers, he's averaging 27 back in the 80s. Like this guy was pretty good, dude. So just based off that alone, and I'm assuming MVP votes, MVP, not B, votes and all this stuff, I'm going Clyde.
I think I'd probably have to side. I think I'd have to side with you because he was that guy. Like he was, like you said, the franchise player. And I mean, like I said earlier, I don't really know much about him. I know that every time I shoot with him in 2K, he misses a 3, and Klay won't miss.
Oh, he was a high flyer. He was a high flyer.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. He was. These were 2 different types of players, but I mean, I hate to bring legacy into the picture, but you could say Klay's got his championships, but number 1 guy, franchise player, give me Clyde. Clyde the Glide.
I mean, Clyde picked up. He was more of a role player, but he did pick up those 2 rings with Hakeem in Houston when Michael retired.
Yeah. That's
by any means.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Yeah, as much as I love to be problematic on these NBA Tuesdays and just stir the pot and really die on hills, I'm not gonna die on the hill that Klay Thompson is a better player than Clyde Drexler.
Oh.
As great as an offensive player, efficient, all those advanced numbers that NBA nerds love. And like you kind of hit the nail on the head of like he was in the same combo as Jordan, man. And like and the era dropping the amount of points he did with the pacing. It is very tough for me to look at that dude and be like, I think the Trailblazers at that time would be better with peak Klay Thompson. I just can't say it, especially given the fact we brought up earlier that he's never been a number 1 option with the Warriors. Like Drexler was that dude for a pretty decent amount of time, not his entire career. And his longevity obviously is not going to be there like it is for Klay. But man,
I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I mean, Drexler was that dude who drafted in
he was around longer than I think people realize, but like Klay,
I mean,
is
Clay's
probably
still going to
play
be
till
around
close to 40. Like, yeah, he's just his game translates very well in terms of you can shoot the ball, like you're just going to be around longer, plain and simple. I'll take Clyde though. As much as I'd love to push back on this, he's just a better player, man. He's just a better finisher, athletically more gifted. Was the number one guy. You could go down the list. So, yeah, I'm not gonna push back. Can't do it.
All right.
Another good
Got one more, right? One more Klay Thompson comparison.
Yeah. Luke, did you have somebody?
Did I say someone? I don't remember.
Well, we did. You said Ray Allen, Christian. I said Clyde. If you don't got a guy, I got another one.
We can always just.
Yeah, you guys can take the floor.
All right.
Sure.
Maybe this will be universal, like Clyde was, but I think it's worth a discussion when you talk about all-time three-point shooters. Better or worse than Klay Thompson all-time? Reggie Miller.
Ooh.
Now, okay, that's where I'm drawing the line. And especially if my dad is watching this, listening to it, he'd kill me if I didn't take Reggie Miller. He was Miller the Killer for a reason. Yeah, dude, he doesn't get enough respect, I feel like at all because he was on the Pacers.
Okay,
plain and simple.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana, I could not tell you the best dude he had other than maybe Rick Smits. You got to be kidding me. I think Steven Jackson later, Chris Mullin when he was old. Dude, Reggie Miller was, I don't want to say modern or at that time, Luka, but he was in the similar situation of being towards the top of the NBA and really didn't even get any credit for being so good. And he had no one else to defer to, and he would still put up these crazy stat lines and crazy playoff moments where he was clutch, unbelievably clutch against teams that the Pacers had no business competing against. The Knicks during that time were actually really good. And Reggie Miller is no.
The Pacers those Pacers teams are a prime 90s constructed team, if you ask me. Just big dudes in the middle clogging up. They got one dude outside who does a lot of the scoring and a bunch of role players. Does that?
But it was bottom. A lot of the
they were constructed to beat Patrick Ewing.
To beat him?
The way, if you go look at the way
disagree.
They built it, let's find tall dudes to clog the paint to try and slow this guy down.
But they were to slow him down, but that, you understand, they didn't have anybody capable even on the tier of the centers at that time.
No, I'm not saying they did, but in the same way that teams were going out and signing 7-footers just to have a guy on the bench to put out there against Shaq, that is what a lot of teams in the 90s were doing with guys like Rick Smits. And I can't even think of the other guys' names. These role players who are just big guys that we just need to clog the paint to try and slow this guy down. Right. I'm not saying that they're on the same caliber Patrick Ewing at all.
No, I'm just really want to hammer home the point that they weren't very good. In terms of, I think we're both on the same plane here.
They just fit 90s basketball
for size,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This bruiser style, tough defense. That's what the Pacers teams were. And
in terms of
I agree.
Who's his second option? Mark Jackson?
Yeah, it would have been.
No one else could score the ball. It's just.
I mean, later in his career, they had those early 2000s Pacer teams.
Jalen Rose, I believe, Steven Jackson. They got a little bit of help towards, of course, the end. But no, Luke, what's your consensus here?
I think Reggie Miller, Reggie Miller, he's not talked about enough in the all-time discussions. He took that Pacers team far, and we've just been talking about, who else was it? Rick Smits. I literally only know him. I keep bringing up 2K. I only know half of these old dudes because of 2K.
Yeah, he's that big old dude.
Significant. Yeah, I mean, he's 7'4", but it is what it is. But give me Reggie Miller over Klay Thompson, and also Christian, you talk about the hypothetical, put each other in someone else's shoes. Clay's not doing anything back then. I'm sorry. He's not. He's
He would
not
get
going to do anything near
feel
Reggie
bad,
Miller.
but
Yeah,
he would be keyed on John Starks and whoever would double. Like, he would be able to get a shot off. And
oh yeah,
like, dude, I'm sorry, Reggie Miller in today's NBA, he's going 35 a night. No one can convince me otherwise.
Okay. I
As
don't know
Luka
about 35.
can, Reggie Miller
agree.
could, dude. You could not give him space. You could not give him. You put a hand in his face, didn't matter. Like, you
So who's a better shooter?
tackle the dude. Well, if we're looking at numbers, it's Klay Thompson and efficiency far and away. But I would encourage people to go back and watch like game shots, what Reggie Miller had to go against.
Reggie's
the
definitely
hand checking,
better
I believe, was still there.
If that's where you're going.
Absolutely.
I think that's
way
the key. He had to score off the dribble because he was that main guy.
I just feel like
he couldn't get a catch and shoot to save his life.
Exactly. Do you guys agree that there's a little bit of Klay Thompson's game that I feel like we're never going to get to see him like try and work off the dribble?
Absolutely. I think that's what's hanging me up sometimes when it's grading him. It's like, I would love to see that so I'd have something to use, because a lot of the guys he gets compared to are greats that had the ball in their hand 90% of the time. And here's a guy who was up there in terms of like Pippen and, who Wade at the time, like of best second options ever. Yeah. And he's getting thrown in this class, rightfully so, of best players, on their teams. And again, it's not like I don't think he could. It's just we literally haven't seen it. So I would have to agree with what you're saying.
I think even if Klay gets traded, I don't like if he has to step up and be even, I would say he's the number 2 on the Warriors for sure now, but his role is kind of, that whole team is, I wouldn't say it's, Steph and Klay, that's it. And then everyone else, like everyone kind of gets their fair share in that offense, but you put Klay on a different team. Today. I don't see him developing any off the dribble anything. I think it is what it is.
It is what it is.
The type of player he is now. But he's always going to be.
I think you'd have a different answer if we were to go back to 2015 and put Klay on a different team.
Well, when he was younger, I could maybe see that, but the fact that he stayed in this Warriors offense his whole career, I think he's, you
kind of know what he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I'm still.
It was a very interesting debate. Yeah, no, and I'm glad you guys shown Reggie love. I was hoping I would have to fight an island.
You want to talk about Reggie? Reggie Miller is one of my favorites when it comes
to okay. Now that's really cool because there's people we talk to, they don't know. Like some people, I feel like if I brought up Reggie, who, and it's like, all
right, I'm gonna put you on if you guys haven't seen it. The Reggie Miller versus the Knicks 30 for 30. One of the best 30 for 30.
Fantastic watch,
one of the best ever made.
Spike Lee,
always entertaining. Geez. You could watch it 15 times and still laugh and be into it every single time. It is. And Dad, I know you're listening. It's literally one.
It's classic.
It's so.
It's good. Classic.
I'll have to give that a watch for sure.
With words.
Oh yeah. If you like Reggie Miller now, watch that documentary. It's like it's craziness, man.
Spike Lee literally just gets on there and talks crap about Reggie Miller like 20 years ago. It's so funny. And then they interview a bunch of Knicks fans, and they're still salty too.
They're so mad. They're so mad. It's so funny. And that's the whole point of how Reggie went off, was everybody's just talking crap, poking the bear. It's like, he's gonna go off.
I don't see Klay Thompson grabbing his nuts in Madison Square Garden and looking at Spike Lee.
No. He might if he's going for 60. I'm not gonna lie. At a good day, he might, but no, I know exactly where you're at. And shout out Reggie Miller, man. He doesn't get enough love. He just doesn't.
Yeah, true that.
All right, let's pivot to who he played for. Does that sound good?
Yeah, close it out. The OG segment.
All right, Luke, you're our guest. We'll let you go first.
All right. Okay, so let's see. I got 3 guys here. 2 of them are currently in the league. One of them was in the league in 2022, but as of today, he is not on a team. So I'll save him for later, but I'll go ahead and start it off somewhat easy, I think. So this guy, he's a bit of an older dude. I'll give you that. He was drafted by the Rockets and traded to the Trailblazers in 2008. He was in Portland for 3 years, so he was there from 2008 to 2011. Then the NBA lockout happened where he played in France for a year, and then he came back to the Blazers. That might be a decent hint right there. When he came back, he played with the Blazers from 2011 to 2015. He was then traded to the Hornets, where he played from 2015 to 2020, and he was then a free agent signed by the Clippers in 2020, and he is still on the Clippers right now. I think the France is kind of a giveaway, but
that gave it to me. Yeah.
What is it? Because I was thinking LaMarcus Aldridge the whole way, but you go to the Spurs. So.
Oh, but you don't know who it is?
I don't know.
Oh, you're there with the Trailblazers too. It's Nick Batum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The France thing threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's him and Fournier.
I don't remember him.
They kind of went off.
Yeah, I kind of
he got overpaid there.
That. Yeah, I was gonna say I remember him kind of in Charlotte, but I just remember him that he was supposed to be this big second or third option, and he ended up just being a third or fourth. I mean, if that,
3-point specialist. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they like barely wanted to play him. It was a whole mess. You know how Jordan gets, like bad contracts. He's gonna be mad. But no, that was a really good one.
Yep,
I got a guy that's he's we'll keep it. It's a good hint. Trailblazers timeline with Batum, Aldridge. This is a good hint because this dude was drafted by the Jazz in the it was 2009, 2010. So then he was with the Trailblazers until 2015. So for 5 seasons after that Jazz season, he was moved there. Then he got, I believe, traded I think he was signed with the Mavericks in 2015-16. And he stayed with the Mavericks till 2018, 2019, where things started to get a little dicey. In 2018-19, he went from Dallas all in the same year. He played 2 games with the Knicks. I guess they must have waived him or something. And then he was picked up by the Pacers and finished out the year there. He did play. He did log stats. And then he was with the Bucks from the 2019-20 season. Then he went to the Lakers for a year. And then the last 2 seasons, he's been back with the Bucks.
Is he still on the Bucks?
He's currently still on the Bucks. Yeah. So that's I don't know if you guys got any ideas. I'm open to hearing them.
Oh, jeez. I think you lost me like by the 3rd team, but hold on. I'll
go a little. So like the years.
I got a long shot.
10, 15,
I got a long
16.
shot. Jeremy Grant.
Okay. It's a long shot. It's a decent. No, he's not currently on the Bucks. Solid, but I really think like wings, Trailblazers. You know it's not going to be Dame, but think of like that timeline, like kind of a little bit before McCollum, like 2010, 2015. Brady listed off Batum, Aldridge, and
I know. Yeah. I know it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got it. I'm actually really stupid because I have this guy written down and didn't realize it. Go ahead.
I was just stumped by drafted by the Jazz and then the but you keep putting all this emphasis on the Trailblazers. So give me Wesley Matthews.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
What do you have to say, Caleb?
That was going to be my guess. Yeah.
That's what you guys are saying.
Is he even on the Bucks right now? I don't know.
Lock it. It's Wesley Matthews.
Okay.
I was gonna be.
I had to give a hint because I felt like if I didn't, you guys were gonna just circle and
I had Wesley Matthews written down. First off, I looked up Jeremy Grant. I don't know why I thought he played for Portland.
He just didn't play that long. Yeah, that was since 09. I was like,
I had Wesley Matthews written down to try and stump you on a Bucks player. Which
that's a good one. Again,
but
I really know
I got another
G League, so
I got another option. Okay, so this guy, I'm not going to give the year he was drafted because I know better with at least Christian. Luke, I'm sorry that you lose out on that, but
Hey,
I can't trust the kid.
Okay, I'll take it off. I'll take it off. You can tell him.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
He doesn't want
Okay.
it. He doesn't.
Nah.
Yeah, he could still hear.
Come
All
on.
right.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I do have to give the stipulation that he was on a team last year, but is not on a team anymore. Okay. So he started.
Okay.
He was drafted by Sacramento. Okay. Then he was traded to
Great
Phoenix.
start.
Yeah, drafted by a terrible team. Traded to Phoenix. Okay. He then signed with the Celtics. Then he was traded to Cleveland, signed with the Lakers. He then signed with this is where he starts to bounce around a little bit towards the end of his career, but he signed with Denver. Then he spent a year with Washington, spent a year with the Pelicans, was traded back to the Lakers, then signed with Dallas, got cut. This was last season, and then also spent time with Charlotte last year.
Wow.
What is this? Ish Smith trivia?
Ish Smith. I will give.
mean-
He is a bit. I will say that he's a.
I
I'm
think
not-
I
I'm
think
not
I might
gonna
have heard
get
that. I think I might have.
I gotta work it
a
out.
little bit. So we'll see. We'll see.
Because he's on the Lakers twice. You said right now he's not on a team,
not on a team.
but the last team he played for was the Hornets.
Yes.
How long was he in Utah, or was he on the Jazz?
He was never on the Jazz. You're thinking Denver?
Oh, Denver. Okay, so it's not. I was thinking. For some reason I was thinking Derek Favors. I don't know. I don't think
No.
it's him.
I can't believe. Oh my gosh! I thought you guys were gonna get this.
I mean, to be fair, you're like it starts bouncing around, but you listed off like 4 teams before that. Like this dude is a veteran journeyman.
He's a
like
journeyman.
All right. I'll say that he at one point in his career finished, I believe, top 10 in MVP voting.
Oh man.
what in the world?
Does
He
he
was
have
drafted by the Rockets?
Drafted by the Kings.
The Kings?
Yeah, that Kings
even
to Suns
worse.
is what I
That's
can't
even
get past.
worse.
I literally have no idea. Okay, what is okay? I don't know if this is too much of a reach, but what team is he like most known for?
That will give it away.
Okay. All right,
That
well that's
will
good.
anyway.
I heard Lakers. I heard Kings, Suns, Denver.
Oh my.
Top 10 MVP voting. What? Oh man.
What?
And he's not in the league anymore.
He's a controversial. He's a member of a controversial decision made by a franchise.
Okay.
That'll make. All right, I'll keep giving hints. Drafted in
I have
2011
nothing, dude.
by the Kings.
Ben
And
McLemore.
arguably, no, not Ben
no.
McLemore. Arguably
Yeah, that's-
best known for his time with Boston.
Jeez.
Bro, like Jared Sullinger. Like I literally have no.
All right, you got to
idea
think. You
who
got to
this
think
is.
bigger than Jared Sullinger. He's the
Timothy
MVP candidate.
Mozgov.
You think Timothy Mozgov was an MVP candidate?
Bro, I don't know who this. I have zero
Yeah,
idea.
I'm
who
trying
even
to
this
put
is.
stuff
Here's
together.
another hint. Here's another hint. He's only played 82 games once in his career.
Okay, no, now I finally got it. It's Isaiah Thomas. I can't believe it took me that long. Wait, what
Dude,
did
how
he
did
do?
you
Bro.
do?
No,
How did it
for
take you
what?
that long?
That's
I don't.
crazy.
He was controversial. What was he
Well, when they
controversial
traded him,
for?
when they
other than
traded him
being
to the Cavs.
short.
No, when they traded him to the Cavs, and he was still top 5
That
player.
I was thinking somebody that's like loud or like
Yeah, I was thinking like a
IT.
big man, but I could not.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
to be
too.
fair, that controversial hint was like in the desperation of me trying to think of things that would give it away to get you.
I guess in the time being it was. I do remember that being controversial, but yeah, that was a good one. Jeez, I don't know how we didn't get that.
I do not remember him in Sacramento at all.
It was early. I should have asked for the years because I know he spent more than like a year with both of those teams. I just was under the assumption it was like Kings, then Suns, then like I was like, bro,
He spent 3 years with the Kings.
Right. Yeah. Like he actually spent like there's some time there and then some times the Suns like wasn't.
No, yeah, but some of the teams I named, like he played 1 game for Dallas last year. He played 4 games.
Right. Yeah.
I was
towards
say,
the
Dallas
end.
and the
Cavs,
Nuggets.
The 2 Lakers stints stumped me. I was like, what in the world, dude? I feel like I know people that play for the Lakers, but
I don't remember him in Phoenix at all. Like,
yeah, that was like Eric.
He played 46 games for him, but yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty much after Cleveland and maybe the first in LA. And then I do remember him on Charlotte last year. I do remember that because he actually didn't play terrible, but they didn't really have a place for him. But all right, I'll take that. That's a win. I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah. Luke, did you had another guy?
Yeah, I got. Let's see here.
Keep panning around. The next guy, I'm showing no mercy. I'm making sure you guys lose.
Okay, so nice, good. Looking forward to that one. But okay, this guy, I think I'm not gonna. The stipulation I had, the guy who I'm not gonna say his name, I'll save it for a different day. But he's currently playing for the Shanghai Sharks, so I'll save that one for later. But anyway,
Dwight Howard.
No, he's on the Taiwanese Tigers. Come on,
it's probably Michael Beasley.
Common knowledge. Yeah.
Michael Beasley. Hashim Thabit.
All right, so let's see here. So this guy drafted first round. I'm not going to give the years either. So I'm just
you can't with him. It's a dead giveaway. You can't.
So okay, so this guy was drafted in the first round. I believe I don't know what pick, but first round by the Clippers. He spent about 3 years there. During his third year, he was traded to the Suns, and then also during that year, he was traded to the Pistons. In Detroit, he spent about 4 years. And then similar to earlier in his career, he was traded mid-season to the Lakers for a while. And then that same year, traded to the Knicks. He was on the Knicks for 2 years. And he was then traded to the Mavericks.
Yeah, I know this is. I know.
How do you guys do this?
He is now on the Mavericks. This is just I don't even know. This guy is. You don't think about this guy ever.
See, I think I need a new strategy because my problem is I fixate on one person and then I'm like, as you're going, I'm like, oh yeah, and then you say the Knicks, I'm like, oh well, Blake.
I'll give you some years, some context.
Detroit.
So let's see.
I don't know if years is even that. That's
dude, yeah, this guy.
I know this player, but wow, that is random.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I was scrolling through the teams. I was like, man, I haven't last time I remember him, he was on the Pistons. Anyway, so drafted in 2013 to the Clippers, was there from 2013 to 15, traded to the Suns in 2015. Then he was traded to the Pistons in 2015, spent 4 years there. Then he came to the Lakers in 2019, traded to the Knicks in 2019 also. Spent 2 years there, traded to the Mavericks, and he's been there 2021 and present.
If this helps Caleb, it's strictly a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah, he's a wing player.
That is what he's known for. Like
I don't
Wesley
think
Matthews'
this guy's
archetype is similar.
Yeah, I don't think he's known for anything, but yeah, I think
I'm not gonna waste your time. Who is? I got nothing. So.
It's Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock,
dude. What?
More of those random guys.
That's like that dude when you start a new My Team and he just shows up on your team and you're like, oh, forgot about him. Glad to see he's back.
Yeah.
And then he's never plays for you.
That was my mentality. Jeez,
that
got
guy.
that in 30 seconds, maybe. I thought that was gonna stump you a little bit, but
I can't. Yeah, how do you not get Isaiah Thomas, but you pull Reggie Bullock in a matter of
it's the years help me when I get a timeline.
You got it without the years.
All right, well, you said what, a couple seasons with the Pistons?
Man.
Like, if it's just rapid fire, I don't know how long they were with teams.
Exactly, I make it as hard as humanly possible.
Yeah, like if I get the stint, because I knew if like the Pistons just Darbo from 2K, like it's 2K random knowledge,
Yeah.
But this, and again, I think this guy's. It's just you're gonna know this guy. You guys both know who he is. I just don't think you're gonna get him. He was drafted in 2011-12 by the Rockets. He was there for another year. Then in 2012-13, so that second year with the Rockets, he got traded to the Suns. He stayed with the Suns for 2 more years. And then he signed with the Pistons in 2015-16.
Can we stop with these
2013
to 16 Suns and Pistons players?
Hey, man. Hey, you're just going to start to run out of names. So it's helping a bit. Then after that stint from 2017-18, 18-19, he was with the Celtics. Then he decided to sign with the Knicks, who then traded him to the Clippers in the 2019-20 season, and he's been with the Clippers since. Currently on the Clippers. He's not like free agent or anything.
Okay.
Oh, man.
You guys think about it, you might get there. But it's hard to follow the career. I'll give you that.
This Clippers bench is getting deeper and deeper every time we do this.
Well, and the fact this dude, his longest stint has been with the Clippers, and he's been in the league since 2011. That says a lot.
Okay, I might know who it is. Who is drafted by the Rockets, and then where did he go?
The Suns for 2.5 seasons. And it was the Pistons for 2, and then
That's
the Celtics for 2.
That's not
yeah. It just almost gets worse.
Okay, I might have some, but I'll let Caleb go first.
Oh, I don't have a guess, so take your guess.
I mean, so the guy who I'm thinking of, he's on the Clippers, and if I'm being honest, I don't know any other team he's ever played for. So
are you gonna say Zubac?
Yeah, Zubac.
That's who I was gonna guess.
Oh man,
I don't think he's that old.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He was like 2015, maybe.
So here's my hint to you guys, and you might smack yourself.
Wait. Is this Marcus Morris?
I'm sorry.
Markieff Morris.
One
of the Morris brothers.
Who are you telling me? What's your pick?
Is it one of the 2 Morris twins?
All right, Caleb, how about this?
I'm not going to give you 2 players.
Okay. Marcus.
Is that your final answer? First. What's Luke? What's your final answer? You guys are going to take the Morris twins.
Yeah, give me Markieff.
Yeah, team effort, Morris twins.
What's your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, well, Luke, unfortunately, you're wrong.
Yeah,
Caleb is right.
Is Markieff even in the league still?
No, I don't think
he's on the Nets. He's on the Nets.
Of course he is.
Jeez.
So what I was gonna do is actually was initially gonna go Markieff, but I learned his career was even harder to follow. So then I went with Marcus, and I'm glad he brought something up, because my next hint, if Luke was gonna go with Zubac, I was like, all right, he's got a brother that's still in the league. But considering you guys didn't think he was even in the league still, I don't know. But
I'll take half credit.
No.
Second guess.
Marcus Morris.
That was a good one. Jeez.
All right.
Yeah,
I got one.
Pretty well known.
Yeah. Well,
given the circumstance, didn't know that about him. But yeah, last guy of the night.
Yeah, you guys should get this one. I think you should. Okay, but I only have one more because I had Wesley Matthews and yeah. But okay, so this guy, not giving a year, but okay, drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. He then went to Boston, and then spent some time with Philadelphia. Then went to the Thunder. And then he now currently plays for Boston.
Oh, I know this.
Dude, you are insane.
Is it more than 5 seconds ever?
We got to get a timer on that next time.
It's so stupid.
Okay,
Jeez,
so just run back through the teams here, man.
Okay.
He's
well, since Christian knows it, I'll be nice and give you years.
Yeah, give the years. Give the years. I think that'll help.
Drafted. Well, okay. Drafted in 2007 by the Hawks.
But really think about it, Luke. Really think about it.
Then after he was with them for a while, I don't want to give specific years because I think it'll give it away, but with them for a while, then spent 3 years in Boston, 1 year in Philly, 1 year in OKC.
Oh, okay. I think I got it.
Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you got, Luke?
My guy, Al Horford.
Yeah. Big Al.
Okay.
Big Al. Big Al.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it's
Three-
disheartening when you you know, like you got a
it's-
guy, Chris's like, oh, I got it, and you're like totally like you're just trying to follow the trail or whatever.
No, so
yeah,
think
that one
about how
was too
much.
bad.
Think about this. How much easier did it get when I gave you that he was old, he was with the Hawks for a long time, and then
Oh,
he
yeah.
bounced around, right?
No, hey, I appreciate
He had none of that. I just read Hawks, Celtics, Sixers, Thunder, Celtics. Oh, I got it. Like just like that. No context. I could pick a player from the 70s and he could probably do the same.
This man
Doesn't matter.
is built different.
Depends on the guy, man. For Isaiah Thomas and Case Keenum, those have been the stumpers so
I
far.
can't believe I got you on Isaiah Thomas. I got you on an
Hey,
MVP candidate. MVP finalist.
All right, yeah, that's a bit of, I guess during that 1 year it wasn't completely a reach, but wow.
He did average. I had the basketball reference.
He averaged like close to 30, man. That's why I was like,
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
That's a crazy season, but
jeez.
yeah.
Nonetheless, man.
Do we have any more guys, or is that it?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right.
I'll
I know the
save.
Warriors
I'll
and
save
Bucks
my
are-
guy.
He's saving.
Yeah.
Saving. Opting to save when Christian's not on a hot streak, which will never.
Yeah, I can't.
Which will never
I'm
be.
gonna be throwing him away if I do it now. So gotta hope for a down day.
Oh, it'll happen. It might have a nice week.
Look for a cold shooting night. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Stuff
But
happens.
yeah, I think that's going to wrap us up. We're sitting at about an hour and a half or so, maybe a little more. But as always, guys, thanks for listening. Luke, thanks for coming on. This is coming more and more fun when you come on, mix it up on NBA Tuesday. So we're thankful for having you. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to check us out. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the whole thing. And yeah, we'll be back. Me and Christian will be back Thursday with our predictions for week 14 of the NFL season, and then we talking Sunday and Monday Night Football. So yeah, anybody out there, good luck with finals, Merry Christmas, the whole shebang, and we'll be back Thursday. So thanks for listening, guys.
Take care.
See ya.